What did you have in mind when you made the call to Cuz? What did you have in mind at that moment?
Well, the problem was owning the clinics and sitting and talking to patients. I realized that a lot of people just didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So you could come and get a recommendation and then you leave the clinic and you go to a dispensary and you lost.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a lot of people, you know, maybe some people in the room who OG smokers, right?
Yes.
But the product has changed since back in the day. So
Gotta
there's,
be careful.
you know, over 400 different strains now. Back in the day, you might have had 20. So, you know, learning the difference between the hybrids, the sativas, the indicas, the terpenes inside of the plant.
Right.
So you don't need high counts of THC. You know what I'm saying? So certain people just aren't educated enough to say, I'm gonna make an educated decision to try this product and it's gonna affect my body this way or that way. So, you know, when we talk about the endocannabinoid system, which, you know, you can get into from a medical perspective, most doctors didn't understand that. So when they were coming to the clinic, we had to train them. You know what I'm saying? So train the doctors about dosing, train the doctors about how cannabis interacts with your
How did they
pharmaceutical
react to the training? Were they coming seeking the training, or they felt like, you know, you got the talking and they got the listening, or?
So I've had it both ways. I've been in a room full of doctors. I won't say where, who, or what.
Right. We ain't gonna throw no particular organization under the bus.
Yeah, I was in a room full of doctors, long story short, and this is when I was trying to hire doctors, right?
Trying to hire doctors on
To
staff.
come and work for my clinic. So because of who I was in their eyes, it was a game.
Yeah, of
You know
course.
what I'm saying? You ain't got the money to pay me, this, that, the other. And I'm like, dude, I wouldn't be wasting my time talking to you. So until they came to the facility, you know, even my cousin would say, then it was like, oh, this dude is serious, right? He got a legitimate business. So in this room of doctors, they're all, you know, I won't say all doctors, but the degrees matter, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have MD behind your name. You don't have PhD behind your name. So what can you actually tell me? What can you actually teach me? So until we started the dialogue, then it was like, oh, okay. Well, no, I don't know that. I didn't learn that. So getting a certificate from as a medical professional to recommend cannabis, 3-hour course online,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So
all
that
they need to
doesn't
know.
give you a full history about the plant or the medicine or dosing or anything. So that's where it became advantageous to come to the clinic. So yeah, we've had some
So
big name
were
doctors
you
there.
able to corral doctors? You corralled this talented individual in Arleen Crider right
You
here.
know, it was different from with Arleen, right? Because she knew what I was trying to do. She saw, you know,
She saw the
when I
vision.
told people I was doing this conference at the IX Center, nobody believed it, right? It's not happening. Not where you gonna get the money from? How you gonna do it? So I just told her, look, this about to jump off. So everything that I was doing, I brought her along with me.
Hold on. How were the, you know, we're gonna take a break in a minute, but real quick, how did the IX Center respond to your request?
So my very first conference was at the Crown Plaza in Independence.
Okay.
Closed down. That was a hotel I had to talk into it.
Of
'Cause
course.
there were no venues that wanted any cannabis related.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that riffraff, because I'm thinking it's riffraff.
Well, there you go. So in my opinion, I think when they saw a young black man, they just saw a drug dealer. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't about educating.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, you want to do what?
You want to do what?
Yeah.
Oh, you trying to sell?
Yeah,
You
so-
trying to get your funky on?
Explaining to them how it was going to go and the fact that he had just opened his hotel. So I said, you need me just as much as I need you. So I'm going to help you bring awareness here. So it was from a marketing
Told him just like
perspective.
that.
Just like that. So he said, okay, well, I said, you could be a pioneer in the space. There's nobody doing it. So he said, okay, let's give it a shot. We knocked it out in 3 months. We had about 700 people there. So it was a big success. So the IX Center was watching that. So I had already reached out to him. I had a relationship with him from doing events there.
Yeah.
And they said, well, if you pull that one off.
What kind of other events were you doing at the IX Center?
So we were doing more charity stuff, random acts of kindness everywhere, Ricky Smith. At that time, I was partnering, we're working with him, I should say, to get that off the ground. So we were doing things there. My other guy, we was doing some shows there, or I was behind the scenes, I should say, of a lot of that stuff. But at the end of the day, just getting a relationship built there because I knew I wanted to do something. This wasn't basically in my cards. I wanted to do some type of concert or something because of my music background. But then once it all came about, I was like, you know what? If I pull this off, this is going to be great for the city. It's going to be great for patients. It's going to be great for everybody that's interested in the industry. There's nothing mainstream about cannabis here, right? And you can't get more mainstream than the IX Center.
Right.
So for the fact that they were entrusted me with their brand, meant a whole lot. So they was just like, yeah, all right, let's do it.
I will say the meetings that we had with them, they were hyped, like they were amped. They were very excited to have us there, and pretty much whatever it was that we envisioned or we were trying to bring, they were with it. Like they were with the shit.
Were you in the meeting popping your knowledge base?
Absolutely.
So do you feel they felt even more comfortable that Lenny was prepared to the point that he can answer certain questions with yourself?
I do.
You felt that?
I do. And again, that's why I always bring it back to the science. Now, I'm gonna be very real. I literally grew up around here. My mom and them still stay off 105 right now. Like I'm from
we
this
home.
hood.
We done came back home.
I'm from this hood.
We done came back home.
Don't get it twisted. I'm back like I never left.
Back like I never left.
Never left. Real shit. But I say that because a lot of times people don't assume that I am from the hood. I graduated from Glenville, right? Yeah. So when I get to talking my scientific shit, I like to bring that back to say, you know what I mean? Like, this is coming out of the hood. This is coming out of Cleveland, right? And to take it back to something that Lenny said before about being in a room full of doctors, again, why it was so important for me to do this as an LPN to show you do not need a degree. Understand, I was willing to damn near get rid of my nursing license if it meant that I could be an herbalist and help my people to heal. That's right. Every day in the hood, we watching our people dealing with chronic illnesses, chronic diseases, when I know that you can get some cayenne pepper and rub that thing on that joint and you're going to be good, right? Let me really teach you how to heal. And so it was really important for me to do that specifically without a degree so that I can show everybody else from this hood that this is what the trajectory looks like. This is what you can do, right?
A beacon of light. A beacon of light in the hood.
This one.
Hold that thought, Arleen. We got to take a break. We got to pay a few bills and we'll be right back in a minute.
Sure.
Play a T, that's me, Hollywood in the hood.